Hi, and welcome to Cat Fasting. So this is another January 2025 update. I am fasting while on a GLP medication. I'm currently on Mounjaro 12.5 milligrams once a week. So this week was actually interesting. According to my happy scale, I lost 3.2 pounds in the last 7 days and 99.2 pounds all time. So I'm getting really close to a big milestone here. I had an interesting eating schedule this week. It didn't go as I planned to do it, but I did adjust accordingly. So Monday, I was going to clean fast, but I couldn't stop thinking about food, and it was sort of driving me crazy. So instead of fully going off the rails or even totally wasting the day, I decided to do a down day, a 500 calorie down day, as described in the 5-2 diet, but not low carb. I actually had, I'm going to talk about food now. I had a can of soup and some crackers, and I think just the warmth of that and the salt was super satisfying. I did wait to eat until about 5 p.m., so I really didn't have any issue as far as eating anything else the rest of the day. So that was okay. And then the next day I did a clean fast. This is at the beginning of my shot. So I took my shot on Monday morning. And Wednesday was an up day. So that was just a little bit more than maintenance level calories. Thursday was a clean fast. Friday was another down day, but it was mid-afternoon and low carb. And then today is Saturday, and I'm just eating normal, which is, 2 quite big meals for me, and Sunday will be the same. I'm not sure if I'm going to repeat this next week because I started reading some bad news on my Mounjaro Canada support group online, and apparently Eli Lilly may be discontinuing the vials, or at least purposely causing a shortage in order to bring out the pen. And the pens are, as I was quoted from my pharmacist, the 12.5 milligram and the 15 milligram, which are both the same price. 15 is not available to order yet, but they will be $900 a pen. That is for 4 weeks of the medication. That's twice the price, and I will absolutely not be paying that. So my pharmacy is also almost out of vials completely. The only vials that would be available to me right now are 7.5, and that's just such a big downgrade from where I am right now that I'm going to have to really make some difficult decisions. Difficult because I'm finally seeing some, really good, promising progress since I've been on a therapeutic level of Mounjaro, and I really don't want to go back on Ozempic. The side effects were absolutely brutal. But I can't afford the Mounjaro. What I'm going to do this week is I'm going to do an experiment, and I'm going to skip my dose this week. It's definitely not recommended by the manufacturer or by my doctor, but I really do want to see if I can get by on an every 2-week dose. And the only reason that I would do that outside of maintenance, which was the plan someday, is because I can't afford $900 a month. That is absolutely ridiculous price. And it also once again brings to light the fact that not only are people who are overweight being punished for being overweight in order to find a remedy, but the economics of it, that people who do not have a lot of money will not have access to this medication. So, I guess celebrities get to be thin and nobody else does, at least not with help. So, sorry, that was my little vent there. I also unleashed on my poor pharmacist because I was so frustrated. Anyway, I'm going to see. So, I'm going to try to do the exact same thing next week that I did this week. I do have a shaken confidence. I don't know if I can do clean fast followed by down days without any sort of help with appetite suppression. But the next level down is I could try to do 2 down days in a row. So at least I'm eating every day. I can handle being hungry. It's the mental part of it and just feeling like it's tough. And that's one thing that being on this medication has helped me, is with the mental part of it. But I guess at some point I'm going to have to learn to wean off this medication anyway. It's not something I could afford to do for the rest of my life. And now that they're making it more and more expensive, and, my dream of going to like a 50% of the cost has totally gone out the window. We'll have to see. I may end up having to go back on Ozempic. The only reason that I'm really would go on something else is for the inflammation. The anti-inflammatory benefits are amazing, and it's not something that I want to give up. So I'm going to have to figure out something quick. Some people in the support group have talked to the company and they've said, oh, we're not discontinuing the vials. I don't know what you're talking about. So it could be that they're just seeing if people will just be suckered into buying the pen, because most people won't have any information other than that. And my pharmacy also mentioned that they didn't particularly enjoy having to have, loads of this medication take up fridge space because there's no preservative in the vials. I was told by my pharmacist that preservatives are available in the pen. So because of that, that's the only way I could do an every 2-week schedule with the pen so that I'm spending the same amount of money, but able to keep the higher doses. So I don't really know what I'm going to do. I'm not really thrilled that I have to experiment at this point, because my first instinct was to just go really hard, and try to get off as much as possible. It kind of puts a big dampener on everything, because this week I finally reached a weight where my BMI is under 30 and I'm now classified as overweight instead of obese. And that's really great, but I'm at the very, very top of overweight, and I really, really need to get to healthy weight, not just for my health, but for my knee, which still gives me trouble. The more weight off it, the better. So I'm just going to do the best that I can. And I'm really trying to keep the mental attitude of just do it, like I just have to get through it. It's not a bad time of year to do that. Just the tail end of winter, and, go as long as I can. I just have to make sure that I don't get to the point where I start binging as a result of fasting. But Wednesday actually wasn't that bad. And again, at the beginning of the shot, I'm fighting a little bit of nausea, and if I eat nausea, I'm not nauseous if I'm fasting. But it's my digestion it's absolutely slows down to a crawl. So that down day I had on Monday, which was a shot day, I ate within the first 12 hours, but I was burping up soup the next morning. So it was just sitting in my stomach, and that is not pleasant. So I think I would definitely switch that around. I'd rather have the fasting day first and the down day second, then an up day, then a fasting day, then a down day. It also helps get through the beginning part of the second day, because I know I can eat. And I'm satiated when I eat the down day, because for most people, a 500 calorie meal is a normal meal. Because I do eat no more than 2 meals a day, though my meals tend to be more like 1,000 calories. But, that late in the evening, because of my slow digestion, it's really not that big of a deal. The only thing that still gets me is cravings for sugar. Sugar, 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 sugar. That will always be my problemo. So anyway, I'm trying to keep up to date on these vial situation. It's nice to see other creators and comments about what is happening in other areas. It's just, it's super disappointing. It's super disappointing. It's company greed. And, what are you going to do? There's definitely worse things happening in the world at the moment. So thanks very much for watching. I really appreciate it. And hopefully next week I'll be able to keep this lovely large weight loss that I was lucky enough to get this week, and maybe even replicate it. Keep you updated.